Are you ready for the Ruffneck?
What's going on, guys? It is Shoot 'em Up here, or Matt for all of you new viewers. And if any of you are coming from my last video about my recruiting and MEPS experience, thank you for continuing to watch this, because I know I'm freaking amazing at doing just vlogs and commentary stuff. I'm just the absolute best at it. So in this video, I want to talk about my drill experience pre-basic training. So it's going to be a little bit different after basic training, so I'm going to end up making a video about that like a year from now, because I'm going to be in training for about 31 weeks. So a long time from now, I'll be making a video about what the reserve is like after basic training. But for me, and I'm sure a lot of you other guys are, still in high school or something, and you join the Army Reserves. Well, you don't leave for basic training for like 8 months. So what do? You just sit around? Well, if you're in the reserves, your time in service starts the date that you swear into the military. If you're active, then your time in service doesn't start until day 1 of basic training. I don't know if it's day 1 of reception or day 1 of basic training. It's only a 4-day difference, but the reserve is a little bit different in that sense. So what basic training was like for me, first of all, let me get this out of the way. It was a pain in the butt to get in contact with my unit, to just go there and do my in-processing, because that took a long time. So after I swore in, which was February the 13th, which was actually Friday the 13th, really lucky. So I swore in February the 13th, 2015, and you are supposed to, you're really supposed to, everybody told me, oh, after you swear in and you're in the reserves, then you're supposed to get in contact with your unit within 10 days and go there and do processing. Within 10 days, you're supposed to go to your unit, wherever it's at, which should hopefully be within a few hours. Mine is luckily enough only about 30 minutes away, 20 minutes away. But you're supposed to go there, do some paperwork, and then basically get on the books where that you're a part of that unit now, and you're not just you're not a part of that unit. So that took a couple months. It was February the 13th, and supposedly 10 days later I was supposed to do it. Well, we didn't get, me and my recruiter called up there for a few months, every week, nearly every day. Couldn't get in contact with anybody. And it wasn't just me. This is going to be another, that was my experience, but it wasn't just me. Is the other guys that go to my recruiting center, that are joining the reserves, none of them could get in contact with their unit, whether it's like at Fort Jackson or Fort blah 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 or wherever it's at. Nobody, you could call the unit, the numbers aren't right or something's wrong with it, and they couldn't get in contact with the unit. So what my recruiter told me he has to do a lot is just drive up there and be like, hey, we called y'all, why didn't you answer the phone? We're here, we need to do processing now. So basically that's what happened with me. Is I went there, we drove there to my unit without calling, because, well, we did call, but so we drove there, we get there, we find somebody who knows something about something. Like, literally. It's a lot less organized in the military than you might think. So we find somebody who can do my in-processing. We do that. I get a little tour of one building and go to my room and walk in there. There's a couple people and they're like, hey, I'm going to be in this unit. And they just kind of sit there and look at me. And I'm just like, hey. It was a little awkward because they just kind of, like, I walked in there and I was just like an outsider. I was just like, whoa, like, who was this guy coming in here, So anyways, so that was a weird experience. So I went to my unit, did processing. 2 weeks later, they had a drill. Now this is the point of this video, is the drill. So formation was at 07:30. So that's 7:30 in the morning, a.m. Was formation. So I got there at about 7 o'clock is when they told me to get there, before formation. So they were like, get there at 0700, formation's at 07:30. So I got there at 0700, And I walked into the building. Okay, so I walked into the building, and there wasn't that many people there, and so I just sat down. So I sat down in the drill hall. There's only like 5 or 6 people there. 07:30 comes around. I go out there and do formation. So we go in and do a little formation, and I asked one of the sergeants. I was like, "Hey, what do I do? This is my first day. I haven't gone to basic training yet." He was like, "Just get in formation somewhere." Okay, so I got in formation somewhere. Did all the morning ritual stuff, like, you know, it was just really basic. Like, you don't have to go to basic training to be able to stand in formation and do, you know, parade rest and all that stuff. So it was really, really, really basic. So after that, the sergeant, master sergeant, I think she was, she kind of told us what we were going to do for the day, which was mainly lessons. So we went back into the drill hall, and until lunch, this is about 8 o'clock. So until 11:30, we went over lessons with, you know, the uniform code had been changed and stuff like that. So we're all just sitting in there. So the first half of the day, I'm just sitting, doing nothing, because we're doing lessons, and a lot of people are on their phones in between lessons. So apparently they're not strict about phones. Maybe that's just my unit. Maybe it's not. Lunch comes around. We do a formation. Say go to lunch. Be back at 1300, which is 1 o'clock. So we go to Golden Corral, which was pretty cool because I didn't know you got like free lunch. Apparently the military, like, they have to provide you with, you know, the free lunch. So we go to Golden Corral, which is, you know, you can get whatever you want, really. It's not like it's just burgers or whatever. You go to get whatever you like. So we went there Saturday and Sunday. And by the way, we did not stay the night. I don't think, unless you go somewhere really far away, you don't stay the night. I think you live over 100 miles away from your base, then I think they like kind of set up a hotel for you to stay at. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that because I didn't have to stay in a hotel because I only live about 20 minutes away. But some of the people who lived over 100 miles away did stay in a hotel. I don't know if it was paid for by the government or not. So after lunch, we get back, we do a formation, say we're going to do some more lessons, and we get done around 1:30. So we got done around 1:30, and we sat there. It wasn't everybody that sat there. The thing is this is before I've been to basic training, so I can't do anything. I can't. It doesn't matter how good I am at whatever it is. I can't do anything. So basically, when people aren't doing anything, they are sitting in the drill hall. So I spent most of my time just talking. Okay, I literally spent 90% of my time there just talking. Aside from the lessons, just talking to people. They are telling me, ask me questions, and I'm telling them, oh, I'm going to Fort Benning next week. Blah blah blah. What's my MOS? It was really basic conversational stuff, and they were really cool too. They kind of, after a while getting used to and warmed up to the people, they kind of treated me as a future one of their own. I wasn't one of the unit, but I was like, you know, okay, I'll be back there. So they kind of really treated me a lot better than I thought I was going to get treated for being essentially a civilian around a whole bunch of soldiers and sergeants and whatever. So that was the first day. We left. We did a formation. You signed a paper to, you know, your attendance stuff essentially. And we left, and I went home and went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning. We had PT, which I didn't have to do because I haven't got a basic training yet. So I didn't have to do PT unless I really, really wanted to, but I know I'm in shape and I didn't have to do it or didn't need to do it. So they did PT, and literally the whole first half until lunch, we were at this middle school doing PT, literally. And we got back, everybody took showers and stuff, and boom, lunchtime. Come back at 1300. Formation. Get back, formation, and another lesson. And for me, I just sat there. The other people who did work, I don't really know what they were doing because they were in their own rooms, and I just was supposed to stay in the drill hall. So, for all of you that were wondering, what is it like to go to drill before basic training. Now, it is really boring, except for the fact that I just got to talk to soldiers and stuff and ask them every question I ever wanted to know about basic training or AIT or military life in general, or reserves versus active duty, or you know, you've got like almost 24 hours worth of time for the 2 days to like ask questions. So that's kind of what it's like before drill. Now, if you do that multiple times, you will get paid every time. I'm a E3 private first class right now, so I think my pay is like $290 for 2 days. So for 2 days, I got paid that much money to sit. Literally. It's pretty easy money. I mean, it was pretty cool. You know, I got free Golden Corral, which is like $12. 2 days plus $290. I guess they, you know, they take taxes out of it or whatever, but you know, I get that. So that was my drill experience before basic training. Now I am gonna go to basic training next week in like 5 or 6 days. So I want to make videos about how basic training is. So I know a lot of you guys, this is all pre-basic training. So a lot of you want to know what basic training is like, or you want different points of view, because there's a couple of people who've done them. I don't know of anybody who's gone to Fort Benning, which is where I'm going. So if you're going to Fort Benning, well, if you're going to Fort Benning now, then you know I'm going to be still training by the time you go to probably. But for all the people that are out there in the future, in like 2016, and you're going to Fort Benning, check back with me and check a future video or something. And I'm going to try and do my best to, you know, let you guys know what day one of receptions like, day one of basic training is like, what all of receptions like, you know, red phase, white phase, blue phase, AIT, all that stuff. I'm going to try and let you guys know, because me personally, I wanted to know these things. And so since, you know, it's like if one person wants to do it, then there's going to be other people who are looking for the same thing. So I'm just putting this out there for all you guys who are thinking about joining the military and you want to know what to expect. Or you did join the military and you want to know what your first drill is going to be like before basic training. Because a lot of people, like I said, are in high school and they got like a long time until they go to basic. So they're going to be able to go to drill and they're like, well, what's it going to be like? Well, first of all, it's boring, but it's cool and you get paid. It's not that bad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Check back with me 8 months from now and I'll have future videos. If you haven't seen my recruiting and MEPS experience video, you can check that out. Just, you know, look at my channel. I may put a link in somewhere. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do is fine with me. And I'll see you guys later.
You never seen anybody in the scene that could hold a track down like this.